Michelle is a musician with albums released as Everyone Except Me and artist behind the post-apocalyptic webcomic Stray Cats. She's kind, a bit shy, and furiously creative. Henrique is a filmmaker with over 24 films and TV shows as producer, director, and occasionally host. He also released a couple of music albums. He's bombastic, larger than life, and tenacious almost to a fault. Together, they've been best friends for a decade. This show is awkward.
You're making me very self-conscious of my lips, though.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, I just don't use lip balm.
Why don't you use lip balm?
I don't like that feeling. The
feeling of moisture?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't know.
The feeling of healthful lips?
Maybe. Yeah.
So I hate taxes so much. I was printing out the receipts for the podcast host, for what I pay for podcast hosting.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot of money, because I can do most of it by myself. I mean, I can edit the shows and all that stuff. So I don't spend a lot of money. And for the first 4 months, I get like 40% off. I get like a really good discount, but I'm still printing out whole ass pieces of paper to write off a $3 expense. Cause fuck you, taxes.
Yeah.
I mean, really, like, my mother always said, why would you cut them a break? They'll never cut you a break in your entire life. Like, they never will.
Yeah.
They'll never be like, oh, this isn't that much. Don't worry about it. That's not how they work. So you don't do that either. Do you remember that time that they sent me the notice that I owed $900 and something in back taxes?
Yes, I do.
And I was terrified because I was like, what? And it was for like the year 2010 or something, when I was like literally sitting there going like, I don't think I made $900 in 2010. Like, cause or 2009, it was the year I was like really unemployed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think I made that much the entire year. So I looked at my records and they had misplaced a decimal point.
Oh my God.
So I owed them like less than $90. And according to, the accounting stuff I had read, the amount of money I earned, which was on a 1099, was low enough that I didn't need to declare it.
Right.
So I wrote them and said, hey, here's obviously what your mistake was. And they wrote me back and went, well, you owe us $90. I was like, fine, please accept this check for $90 and this crudely drawn penis as a token of my appreciation for all your. But yeah, so like, it's funny, every now and then I'll feel stupid because I'm like printing an entire ass piece of paper just to get, an invoice for like $4.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember that I hate taxes so much.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get all anarcho-capitalist, but it's taxes really are like the great deterrent for success and the great deterrent for entrepreneurism. I really do believe that. A friend of mine once said, what was it? He said, you know what they do to discourage you from doing things? They tax it. Like, they don't want you to buy sugary soda. They tax it. They don't want you to smoke cigarettes. They tax it.
Yeah.
What else do they tax when you make a lot of money? They tax it. And by a lot, I mean really any. I mean the vast majority of taxes, of the tax burden is held by the middle class. So, what was it? One time I remember posting on Facebook, I was mad about my taxes when I had a day job. Mm-hmm. And somebody said, you just get it all back at the start of the next year anyway. And I was like, motherfucker, I get like $500 back. Yeah. They're taking that out every 5 months.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I know that they changed the way the tax code was, just kind of, no, I don't know words. And, but they didn't actually fix it in the way taxes were coming out of paychecks last year. So I should have gotten money back, but I didn't because they weren't taking the right out of money. So I owed a bunch of money. Yeah. It's not my fault that you didn't fix that.
That's true.
I can't fix it. Right.
Well, and that's, I saw a meme that was you need to pay your taxes. Okay, well, how much do I owe you? You have to figure that out. So I choose how much I want to give, like a donation. No, there's an exact number you have to give, but we're not going to tell it to you. And if you get it wrong, you go to prison.
Yeah.
I mean, that is some extreme math. That's some extreme mathematics. Like, it's like gun to your head math. Mm-hmm. So didn't weren't you talking about earlier today that you had a tax problem?
Yeah, just a little huge tax problem. I was talking to somebody that I work with yesterday, and then I was like, oh my God, am I being like, I should look at my pay stub and make sure that like I don't have Philly taxes coming out of my paycheck because I don't live in Philly or work in Philly. But I've had them come out in the past because I live so close to Philly, so I worked in Philly. Mm-hmm. And I checked and I realized that, $800 this year have come out for Philly city tax. And I haven't been working in Philly all year. So it looks like my work just has the wrong address for me, and they think I'm working in a store in Philly. So
is there anything you can do about that? Are you going to be able to get any of your money back?
I don't know. I definitely I sent out an email, so it's going to be corrected probably, unless
Good.
they email me back and they're like, no, we just do it like this because we want Philly to have money.
Yeah. we need you to pay for all the infrastructure you don't use day in, day out because we just can't afford it.
Exactly. Well, yeah, they really do. But Philly city tax is not like a small deal. Like it costs a bunch of money per paycheck. Like it's coming out, between $30 and $40 a paycheck for me, which is like, it's not a lot if you make $100,000 a year or something like that, but I don't. Yeah. So it's a big deal. So it'll definitely get corrected. But I also was like, can you help me get my money back? And so I don't know what's really.
Please help.
Please. I needed that money.
And where I live, because I live in the suburbs. I mean, you do too now. Mm-hmm. And I live in the suburbs outside of Dayton, Ohio, which is a sizable city. And I don't pay Dayton city taxes. I pay my municipality's taxes. And it's so funny because they're all exactly the same, except that one town. There's literally one. I don't want to name it. I feel like that would be shitty.
Okay.
But there's this one township that's a suburb of Dayton that is notorious for just super high and complicated city taxes.
That's so weird. Especially because, I mean, besides Philly, any as far as I know, any of the suburban areas outside don't have specific taxes that come out of your pay. It's just state.
Yeah. No, here we have minor city taxes. Mm-hmm. They're very, very minuscule and you file at the end of the whatever. But then in that township, everyone I know who lives there is always like, oh God, got to file my city tax. And I'm like, I have literally never had to do anything but click a button on my Quicken or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't live there.
Yeah.
So it's just funny how it can vary so very much.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And in Philly, can you do it online now? You can do it online, but it was super confusing. And weird. Yeah, it's not like doing normal federal or state taxes. It's weird.
Oh, you think that's bad? Try filing a copyright sometime. They just started allowing you to do it electronically 8 years ago, and they just stopped accepting VHS tapes last year.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I filed a copyright. I've never filed one digitally before. So
you filed? What did you copyright?
Songs.
Was that copyright or was that BMI ASCAP?
No, copyright.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
With the LOC? The Library of Congress. Sorry, I thought you were hip.
No, I'm not. Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, no, exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't even think about that. I mean, I'm sure that's a very different form than filing for a motion picture because that's all I've ever copywritten.
Yeah,
for motion pictures.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but I haven't done it in a while, and I should probably do that. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't hurt.
It's not like anybody wants my songs, so.
Well, I'm pretty sure you get a lot of protection by being backed by BMI or ASCAP, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that probably takes care of most of the business anyway.
I guess. I mean.
Well, it protects performance. I guess if somebody wanted to just print your lyrics and sell slips of paper with with your lyrics on them. I guess that would be, I don't think ASCAP would protect that.
Yeah, well, I mean, someone could claim that they wrote the song before me.
That's true.
So.
Well, that's when you just, kill them.
Yeah, I guess.
It's mob rule in the show business, okay?
Yeah.
It's mob rule. But have you had any other terrible experiences with taxes or with the government? Sorry, as I said that, it became funnier to me.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had like terrible or good experiences with taxes.
It would be weird if you had good experiences.
Yeah, I just love paying my taxes, and it's been great.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah. So. But last time I had anything that had to do with taxes that didn't end up being a big deal is like I have that thing where the post office will email you when you get mail.
Yeah, I have that too.
Yeah, it's nice sometimes, except when you're at work and you look at it and it's like, oh, you're getting mail from the IRS.
Yeah, then you get to wait all day.
Yeah.
It's like a Werther's Original of fear you get to suck on the whole day.
Yeah, and then I'm pretty sure it didn't even come that day. It came the next day. So it was just like, what's going on? And it turned out it was just like them being like, hey, your student loan company, you requested to send this document to them. We just wanted to make sure it was you. So it was like no big deal, but I thought I was getting audited. And I was like, don't know. You
never are happy when you get an IRS letter. It's not gonna, like, the odds that it's gonna be like, hey, just wanted to say we hope you're well. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
No, I love that. The name of it is escaping me at the moment, but the thing where they email you and let you know what mail is coming that day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love that because there have been days where I've been able to look forward all day to getting my paycheck or something from a job because I see it, ahead of time. But also every now and then one of the little documents, for those who don't know, you can get, in many postal service areas, you can get scans of your mail as they come. I guess that's how they keep track of them, is scanning them anyway.
Right. Yeah, I think that's how it works.
Because it definitely looks like a sloppy scanning. So it's not like they're, But anyway, every now and then, though, it'll just be a square that says, like, this item could not be scanned or this item failed to scan or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, oh, what could that be? And it's always, it's always AT&T Uverse.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's never anything exciting ever. But it is cool when they'll have a little button that says, like, click here if you did not receive this today. That's kind of nice, so that you can get a head start on if any of your mail's been lost. Yeah,
that is nice. I also, it seems like whenever I have like a package coming, that I'm pretty sure it's coming because I've been following it. It will, the email will like not include that, and I'll look and it'll be like, no, there's not a package coming at any point, and then it'll just show up anyway. Which
I've had that happen
kind of a nice surprise, but confusing.
Yeah, I had a pair of glasses come, and the mail tracking thing was saying it would be there Friday, and it was like Wednesday, and I was like, oh, cool, my glasses are here now. Bizarre, but yay. So you delivered for Amazon a little bit, didn't you?
Like for like a day, but yes.
I mean, that's a little bit.
Yeah, that's a really little bit. Yeah.
What is it? What did you think? Was it like being a post office person? Did you whistle and run from dogs and stuff? Or
no, I did see 2 dogs, but they weren't scared of me or angry at me because they had never seen me before. So it's not like they were used to me like invading their territory or anything. It was okay. I was really stressed the whole time. And
why were you stressed?
Because I didn't know what I was doing at all. Like, you just like, okay. It's just like, hey, you picked up the shift, like, go to this place, and they'll explain it to you, and they'll like kind of explain it in a way that you might understand or not. And my phone like wasn't like, I had to scan the packages that I was delivering on my phone. And I think that's when I had my last phone, and it like was like, I'm just not going to scan things. So it just took a really long time. And then you got to choose where you want to deliver to, and none of the places were close. So it was like a half hour away from there, which wasn't close to where I live anyway. It was just weird.
Sure.
It was a weird experience. I would do it again if somebody would let me would like give me a car to do it. and like,
Oh yeah.
it was not my car, but yeah.
Well,
I'll
now
get
they're
mine.
all about those Sprinter van deliverers.
Yeah.
I don't have very many packages where I am. I don't have very many packages come from like people in their car anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I do too, but I'm also like not always around during the day when I get packages, so I can't tell.
Oh, look at you. At a job, working,
So
not answering the door in a robe. I checked my mail in a robe today. Every time I do that, I'm like, wow, this is what it is to be a Kennedy.
Yeah.
Just wearing a robe, getting mail. I assume that's what they did.
I don't see why not, you know?
You know what I saw today? I saw something that I had never seen before.
Yeah.
I went to UPS to drop off a package. And on my way there, I noticed like a couple of different U-Haul trucks, like little, not vans, but, you know, trucks, like the little, you know, the kind of truck like you would use to move.
Yeah.
You know, not the huge U-Hauls, but the kind of medium-sized ones. Mm-hmm. I saw two of them on my way to the UPS, and both of them turned into UPS. And I was like, okay. So I drop off my package, and as I'm leaving, on my way out, I passed 5 more U-Haul trucks.
Oh.
And they were each driven by a UPS employee wearing the brown shirt.
Wow.
I guess they ran low on trucks or something.
Oh, wow.
I mean, the holidays are coming.
Mm-hmm.
So that made me curious because I was like, I'm noticing something. What is this?
That's so weird.
It was odd because, you know, then I'm at UPS and they have tons and tons and tons of trucks.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they didn't have enough.
That's impressive.
I guess.
I don't know.
But yeah. So how's your sweat level right now?
I'm sweating a lot, so it's not good. It hasn't been good all day, so.
Oh, yeah. So it's not just the show this time?
No, it could just be the show. I'm not really sure. Yeah, it definitely could just be, you know, me worrying about it all day. Who knows?
Oh, well, at least there's that.
Yeah.
Have any of your friends listened to the last episodes?
It looks like maybe, sort of.
Maybe sort of.
At least a friend, maybe. I don't know.
How does that make you feel?
I don't know, like not great.
Well, I mean, you actually listened back to the episode.
Mostly. I couldn't. I don't think I made it all the way through either, but I like just kind of checked on them and made sure that they weren't like.
So yeah. Well, so hearing your voice does it make you nervous?
No, it's not my voice. It's what I'm saying.
Is that why you prefer music because you like prepare it all ahead of time, or?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I guess I have more control over what the content is going to be. Maybe.
Sure.
But not that I like hearing myself singing or any of that either. So.
You don't like hearing yourself sing?
No.
What?
Really?
I'm surprised because you have a really great singing voice.
That's nice of you to say, but I don't like hearing myself singing. I don't like having monitors on when I sing or listening back to things. I'll pretty much go out of my way not to listen to myself sing. Yeah.
Well, why don't you just hire a singer on Fiverr then for your albums?
Because that would cost some money, and I'm free.
Because I'm affordable, available, and ready to go.
Exactly.
That's whenever I act in one of my own projects, people always say, like, why'd you act in that? I'm like, because I'm available and affordable, and I'm a pretty good guy. Mm-hmm. Well, I did not know that. I didn't know you didn't like hearing yourself sing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't mind hearing myself sing in the context of me physically singing in the moment, like a person. Like, I don't mind hearing myself talk right now, more or less. No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really like this. But like any sort of like recording or amplification of my voice, it's just like, no, that's enough of it. I don't want it anymore. But I like singing. I just don't want to hear it.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of bizarre to me, honestly.
Really?
Well, I mean, like, I guess I kind of get it because I know a lot of people who just can't stand hearing recordings of their voice.
Mm-hmm.
I am not one of those people. I love the soft, buttery tone of my voice, but but actually, too, I'm weird. I like hearing my own voice.
Well, I mean, that's good.
I mean, I don't like hearing my own voice singing if I can hear that, I'm not singing proficiently.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll just be stressed out.
Yeah.
But then again, I think that my singing voice and your singing voice vary greatly.
I guess, yeah, no, I don't know. I think it's like some people don't like reading their own writing, that kind of stuff. It's just too close to me, and I can't. And it's very nice of you to say that I have a nice singing voice, but I can't. I don't know that. I can't. I really am too close to it to be able to tell.
Well, I mean, people must compliment your singing voice all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes, maybe, but it doesn't. That's like really nice, but like I just assume that they're being nice. So,
well, can't people be nice and also honest?
Yes, but it's hard to tell.
Has anybody ever told like clearly lied to you about your voice or something?
No, but people have said not so great things about my voice.
Like what?
Well, I had I worked briefly as an intern, I guess, at a what's that called when there's things?
Recording studio?
Close. But
bed and breakfast?
Almost. No. A record label, like a small like basement record label in New York.
Oh, okay.
And like the dude that I was, working for, I think like I eventually showed him some of my music. And he basically just said that it was like I sounded better than he expected. But in a way that like was not like nice exactly. Like was slightly condescending.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
So this guy, he owned the label?
Yes. Yeah.
And was he in a band?
No.
Was he a singer
actually,
or musician?
He wasn't. No. He just like knew musicians, I guess.
He just knew them.
Yes.
He just knew how to take advantage of them.
Exactly.
and I mean, like, how old were you at this time?
I don't know. I was in college, so that must have been maybe I was like 22 or 23, 24.
Okay.
One of those.
So this was while you were in college, which I guess most internships take place while you're in college. Yeah. I didn't have the college experience, obviously, so I've got to like ask those questions. Otherwise, I have no clue what's going on. So, you know what? That's a great idea. Let's talk about you going to college.
Why?
Because I'm curious, because I have an outsider's perspective. Mm-hmm. So you were born in the Bronx, but you grew up in New Jersey, in central New Jersey?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And you decided to go to school in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I did.
What school did you go to again? I don't want to get it wrong.
I actually went to two different schools. I went to the Art Institute of Philadelphia, which I believe doesn't exist anymore. Or if it does, it won't exist for much longer.
It was burned down after a sports event?
No, I burned it down. It went.
You're supposed to provide me a safe space to drink my water.
I'm sorry.
You're talking not. Sorry. Go on.
No, I believe it went bankrupt. They just closed a bunch of locations because it was a for-profit kind of school, and it just didn't work out for itself. I guess. I don't know. And then I transferred to Drexel University.
Okay, so you went to Drexel. See, because if I hadn't asked, I would have accidentally said you went to Temple because my friend Eric went to Temple. Oh, yeah,
no, I didn't go to Temple. Yeah.
So, Temple University, this was not me bringing Judaism back into the show.
Yeah.
Not this early on. So, So tell me, so when you first went to school, it was at the Art Institute,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And you were studying music?
No, I was studying animation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because of your love of like anime and manga and stuff like that?
I mean, I guess I wanted to be an animator, you know.
Well, I mean, I would assume.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, and how long did you go there again?
Like, I don't know, like a year and a half, probably.
Okay. And you lived on campus?
No, I commuted from New Jersey.
Oh, so it was like an hour each way, hour and a half each way?
Yeah, an hour, basically an hour each way. It wasn't like a normal college. As I mentioned, it was kind of more of a for-profit school. So they did have like apartments, sort of, but not really dorms. Most of the people who went there didn't live there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then what made you decide to change schools?
I wasn't having the best time doing animation.
In what way?
It's like just super hard, and I didn't think I was proficient enough in it. Yeah, basically, and I didn't feel like I wanted to do it anymore. So
what was your move? Like, how did you decide to change schools or whatever? Like, how did that go? How'd that work?
I mean, I just started. I just talked to the folks at that school about changing, and they were like, hey, you're a really good animator, which is like not true. But like, I don't know. I just thought like maybe I could do like music and recording because I liked music, and at that point, like I was bringing my guitar to school at the Art Institute and like doing some like a little bit of busking, like not a lot, but between classes and stuff. So I thought like that I could get into recording because that would be cool. Yeah, so I was just looking for schools who had recording programs.
So you went to refresh my memory again. What was the school's name?
Drexel. Is that what we?
Drexel.
Yeah.
And because they had a recording program.
Yeah.
So you majored in recording music?
Yeah.
Or what was
I majored in what was called music industry. I don't know if it exists in that form anymore. I have no idea. But it was like you could like a two. It's split off, so you could either focus on recording like in engineering, or you could focus on like music management.
Okay.
Stuff. So yeah.
So and do you feel like how do you feel about your college experience?
It's complicated, I guess. I feel like maybe people when they're like 18 shouldn't make decisions about the rest of their life. Is what I normally feel like about all of my decisions. I didn't have a bad time there or anything. It's kind of a field that like there's not a lot of opportunity in, especially because recording has changed so much in recent years with, recording digitally and everybody just kind of doing stuff through their computers or like getting their friends to record them for like no money. So things have just really changed, and it was probably like not a great move, but I don't know. I like it was okay.
And this was in 2006, 7 range, right?
Yeah.
So you went to school and you were pretty much just majoring in like a dying business.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, because like if you, in hindsight, it's very clear that in 2007, 2008, labels were overall on the way out.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, there still are labels, but it's so funny now when I hear a band say like, we signed to a label. I'm just like, what?
Yeah. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I'm like, huh? Like, I thought why don't you just put it on iTunes?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah. It's not like it costs that much money to record. Like, why do you need a label? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's just kind of surprising. And then, of course, the labels pretty much never invest in marketing anymore because they're all trying to save money because it's so hard to be a label now. But one positive definitely did come out of you going to college, right?
What?
the way just that fearful what? You fell in love with Philly.
Oh, yeah, I did. That's true. And I also busked a lot. That's when I was like most active busking. Not that I was making any money at that point busking at all.
And for those who don't know, busking is playing music on the sidewalk,
yeah, like street
for money.
Performing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's definitely those things, but then of course it's like, was it a good idea that I liked Philly? Does this really help me in any way? Should I have just kind of stayed in New Jersey? You know?
Well, you've managed to buy 2 houses, not concurrent ownership. Although you kind of owned both houses for like 5 minutes or something.
It was like
right?
No, actually for like a day I didn't own any house. It was the other way around.
Yeah. You gotta join the club. I don't own any house every day.
Or an apartment or anything. That was just like, hey, you're here in this space, but you actually shouldn't be.
But I'm just saying, I mean, you live in the second house that you've owned in the Philadelphia area.
That's probably correct.
I mean, I would call that successfully building a home when you literally have one.
I mean, I'm gonna have to disagree with you, but
How?
I don't know.
You're gonna have to expand on that disagreement.
I mean, I don't know that I've done anything that is good. You know, like I'm just kind of lucky that I don't know. Yeah.
I hate the word lucky. Because lucky implies just like no involvement of self.
Mm.
I prefer phrases like fortunate. Because it's like, I feel like although I could just be, murdering the English language, I feel like fortunate is a little bit more like appreciative, but not as random.
I mean, I could see what you mean. I don't know if I agree.
Well, I just feel like lucky is like, I'm having a lucky streak, as where it's like I've been very fortunate in my job. I just feel like they're different.
I mean, I can see how you feel, I guess.
I can see what you're getting at. You are wrong. But no, I mean, why would you? I mean, ever since I've known you, and I met you, over a decade ago, you've always loved Philly. Because when I met you, you were back in Jersey for a little while.
Yeah.
And pretty much the entire first year or two I knew you, it was all about the quest to come back to Philly. Mm-hmm. That was the entire, your entire character arc of those seasons was getting back to Philly.
Yeah.
Because I remember you went back to West Philly, right? Mm-hmm. It was first you went to West Philly and you had that roommate that didn't work out so much. And I remember visiting you at that apartment. So and then were you still there? I mean, you didn't go back. Did you end up back in Jersey for a little while after that?
Yes, yeah, I did. Can't remember. For a while.
Yeah, that was when you had the long stretch back in Jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it was when you started working in Deptford, right? That was when you came back to Philly.
That's actually when I went back to Philly the first time, when I had that roommate that didn't work out.
Okay. Yeah, because Deptford, which the irony that you were actually working in New Jersey, but it was much closer to Philadelphia than it was to where you lived in Jersey, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, states and their complications.
Yeah.
But no, I remember that. I remember how hard you were working to be back in Philly. So you must have a fondness for Philly.
Yeah, no, I do. But like for a while there, Philly just kind of felt like an abusive boyfriend, basically. Like I really liked it, but every time I tried to do anything about it, like find an apartment or any of that stuff, it just beat me up really bad.
I do remember that. Yeah.
So I'm just never. I mean, I guess things are going okay. Maybe.
You own a house.
It doesn't matter.
Are you? What you think? Some like your high school principal is going to show up tomorrow and be like, "This isn't yours. Get out."
I mean, I don't even remember my high school principal.
Me neither. As soon as I said that, I was like, "Fuck, who is my high school principal?"
I have no idea now.
When I say your high school principal, I really just mean the high school principal from Back to the Future.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That would be interesting.
You're a slacker. Your father was a slacker, and you're a slacker. But no, I mean, you're so uncomfortable saying that Philly is home.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just, yeah. No, I just don't know. I mean, I guess it is now. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you have a house in a nice neighborhood, and it's a nice house. And you have a cat that's nice.
Maybe.
And has most of a face.
Yeah, most of it.
I feel like I want to do a whole other thing about gigs, so
okay.
We'll just leave it with Michelle's cat has some parts of her face missing. Yeah. But we can go into that better some other time. But no, I mean, so I think you've definitely made a home for yourself in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt.
I guess so.
I mean, you've successfully purchased 2 different homes. That's impressive in and of itself.
I'm not gonna agree with you.
Thanks for listening. You can email us at thisshowIsAwkward@gmail.com or go to awkwardshow.com or whatever. See you next time.